So I'm just going to take you through the cool down stretches just in one video. I'm not going to do the full 30 seconds for each hold. I'm just going to show you the basics on what you need to be focusing on. So for the straight leg forward bend, feet need to be hip width. You want to pivot from your hips, keeping your legs straight obviously. Just bend forward. If you can, touch the ground or your toes, or just hold your ankles if you can. Drop your head and then just let your whole upper body just hang, and you can pull from your ankles just for a bit more progression into your knees, just to feel tension across your hamstrings and the whole way through your back. Really like this exercise. And then when you finish, just nice and slowly raise, and you're going to be holding that for 30 seconds. The next one is the hip flexor with the shoulder elevation. So with this one, you want your back knee to be on the ground. You want a big lunge forward, and you want to be pushing your hips forward to feel tension in your back quadricep and underneath your front hip flexor muscles. And then you're going to be locking your arms, pushing up to the ceiling like you're pushing away from the ceiling, ensuring that you're pushing your hips forward the whole time to feel tension underneath your pelvis and on your back leg, and pushing up through your shoulders. For the other alternative on the other leg, obviously just exactly the same, pushing your hips forward to feel tension on your back quadricep. You're just going to be locking your arms behind your back this time and trying to pull them apart while pushing your hips forward, looking up, keeping your chest high, and you want to feel that tension across your whole upper chest and your delts as well, your frontal delts, as well as underneath your pelvis. Okay, so for child's pose on the chair, I'm just going to use the side of my couch. You want your knees to be about shoulder width apart. You want to be able to sit just on the heels of your feet. So you want to get your hands flat on the chair or sofa, and then you're just going to be sitting a little bit further forward, sitting back into your heels. You want to feel tension on your hip adductor muscles, the inside of your thigh, and then you're just pushing your head down and feeling that tension across your lat muscles and your chest muscles, and you're just holding that position. And for a bit of progression, you can just push yourself deeper into the seated position to feel that stretch on your hip adductors, and you're just holding that position as well. So that's the child pose. For the lying leg crossovers, very simple. Just flat on the back. You want your hands to be out to the side. You want your shoulders to be remaining on the floor at all times. You're basically just going to cross. So I'm starting with my left. Twist the hips. With your right hand, you want to grab the inside of your leg, and then you're just going to be looking over to your left shoulder, maintaining your shoulder flat on the ground, and you're pulling through. You're going to feel the tension on your lower back and your glute muscle, just holding that there. And when you finish, just extend the leg until you go back to neutral, and then just repeat on the other side. You can get yourself comfortable in this position before starting the timer. I would recommend that. Just get yourself in a position that you feel you can hold that pose with your shoulder flat on the ground, and then just hold that position there. And then extend the leg so you're not pulling yourself around using your back muscles. And for the final stretch, the seated hamstring stretch, you want your feet straight out in front of you. You want to be pulling your toes back towards your body. Big deep breath in, stretch up, and then as you breathe out, just drop down and grab your toes if you can. If you can't, just as low as you can, grab your shins for example, and then you're just dropping your head towards your knees, and then feeling that tension across the whole of your upper back and lower back and your hamstring muscles, and then you're just holding that position there. Okay, so that's the cool down stretches.